he's a fantastic fucking player.
He is.
He's the only guy that could push Jordan.
I just don't think. Well, that's not true.
He's the only guy that ever got the best of Jordan consistently.
Bird.
Jordan was so young at that point, and Bird basically was on a super team at that point.
That's true. Magic beat up on him too, though, a lot.
Yeah.
This is here. I'll pull up my ranks because I have the article.
You want to save it for sports?
Nah.
No, we got enough show.
We got enough show.
Why does it know if you want to start recording?
We got I got Kobe at 10. I've got Hakeem at 9.
Over
Hakeem from Coming to America?
Okay, he's great. I'm not saying, but like, God, over Kobe.
Bill Russell at 8.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tim Duncan at 7. And I will die on that rock saying that he's better than Kobe. He gets no respect. He's the greatest power forward of all time. I got Magic at 6. Bird at 5. And then it's Shaq, Kareem, MJ, LeBron.
Shaq ahead of Bird. Shaq ahead of Magic.
You got what was Shaq for you? 3?
4.
Who was 3?
Kareem.
Damn. Shaq all the way up there.
I love Shaq, man. I think that he is the most unstoppable.
I get you like him, but statistically,
there was nobody who could guard him.
There's nobody that can guard
a
him
monster
anyway.
There
was nobody that could have guarded him.
He's the biggest fucking
ever.
guy, and he pushed players around. Look at the Chris Dudley video, man. He fucking treated him like a bitch.
I mean, I like Shaq. I was a fan of Shaq. I mean, the dude was a monster, but like
people forget though. People think of Shaq as being like this big guy who just lumped around and knocked people over. Shaq was athletic as hell. Shaq could cross people over. He could palm the ball, so he would hit one cross, take 2 steps, and just fucking wreck. I mean, he was not just
he dunked it every fucking time. He had no shot,
but it wasn't.
He couldn't make it from
body.
the free throw line.
It didn't matter. He could get to the rim regardless, no matter what. No one was stopping him.
That's holes in the game, man.
Dude, it doesn't matter though. When you are the best
guy, man,
when you are the absolute best at what you do.
I'm not debating the entirety of his list, just that one. I'm like,
LeBron,
Shaq at number 4.
LeBron couldn't shoot for years.
Shaq wouldn't say he's the 4th best player of all time.
Well, I don't know. Shaq might say he's the best player of all time. He's a cocky fucker.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 after.
This will be our intro.
All right.
Let's get the show started.
Good evening, everyone. Highlights of the news: traffic accident. Beaver County man being held for murder. It's more later.
What's going on, y'all? You're tuning in to the highest rated, most listened to podcast to ever grace the airwaves, and you're a better person for listening to us. All right, maybe not, but you're really going to enjoy it anyways. This is Made to Motivate podcast, and we'll be talking social media hot topics, pop culture news, the greatest in movies and music, and all things sports. Make sure you're following us on social media at Made to Motivate podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can watch the show on our YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and with that being said, let's get this show started. Jesse, you turned me on.
Thanks.
These are good.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about me.
Heyo. Jesse turned me on to these cider boys.
Good.
They're good.
This is actually really good.
What
I
you
don't
got there?
drink a lot. This is Mad Bark apple cinnamon hard cider.
Is
Cheers.
it super sweet?
Not a sponsor.
Because I like these
No.
other ones because they're kind of tart.
It's not. It's good.
I'll try that one next.
What's up, guys? Made to Motivate podcast. This is season 4, episode 8, I believe.
Yes.
I think we're at 8.
I don't know.
According to Christopher, we're
I don't
at
even know
8.
what season we're on.
Jesse's not a mathematician. He can't count.
It's
Not a math
It's the
teacher.
8th week of the year.
Math teacher, my bad. This is your host, Ryan Weiss. Joined as always by Jesse Unk, the scholar sportsman from Sports Illustrated.
That's right.
How's it going?
It's going fantastic.
Fantastic. Christopher Conway.
Oh, I like what you did there.
How's it going,
Little
sir?
Charlie action. Yeah. Oh, it's going pretty good. Just, Shaq number 4.
Man, that's rough, man. I would not have seen that coming. I definitely didn't see that coming.
You did not see that coming?
You have that as an article?
Top 10 players.
What's interesting, if you guys didn't catch the intro,
That is not what people
believe
get
that's
most
true.
pissed about in that article. Not even close.
Kobe being a 10 is what they get the most pissed about.
That's the thing I get pissed about the most is people hate that I have LeBron number 1 and they think that Kobe should be like number 3.
I would
and
put
it's
him
like,
in
no.
top 5.
Yeah,
I'd put him
I
top
would
5.
too.
I watched Kobe's entire career, man. He had the most unstoppable force in Laker history.
He's Black Mamba, man.
He's the
I
most
give him his Black
determined
Mamba,
player.
but I give him all of those credits. But
better. So, okay, we're gonna get the show started very quickly, but based on your stack ranking, are you saying that any player ranked higher, as in like 1, 2, 3, the better player could beat any of the people below them one-on-one?
no, God no.
So then, how does it rank them? How do you rank them better?
I think he's bottling everything up.
Yeah,
So, like, I mean,
it's a
if you
mixture
put Kobe
of.
against Shaq, who's winning?
So whenever
Oh, Shaq's winning every time.
winning every
You think
time
so?
because you
Yeah,
can't
because nobody
stop
can guard him.
He's so
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
I just think of Kobe's speed, Kobe's shots. I mean, obviously Shaq is going to tower him, but
Shaq would literally just sit underneath the rim
yeah,
He'd dunk it 10 times.
and he would back him down the entire way.
Yeah.
But I don't think that anybody would have beat LeBron number 1-on-1 either
yeah,
because LeBron I do think could guard Shaq.
it's much closer in size.
Not well enough to stop him every time, but he'll miss a few, and Brown will get past Shaq.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting list. Check out that's on your hub pages.
Yes.
Check out Jesse's hub pages. We always link it on everything, so you can find it in the description and check out his top 10 players of all time in the NBA, and you will be pleasantly surprised or
And it's always subject to
Very-
change. It's just
disappointed.
nobody's
Being
broken
Chris.
that top 10 yet. So there's only one current player still on the list.
It's wild.
Yeah.
A man untouched by time.
Mr. Akron himself.
That's right.
What is new, exciting? What's going on? Anything fun? What have you been up to? You weren't here last week. You were
Yeah.
busy. So it's been 2 weeks.
I
What's new?
finally finished the bathroom.
Yes.
That's done. It looks nice and
It's usable.
like cliche modern. Like we have like little signs that say like bath time, splish splash,
Yeah,
all clean,
I
and all
got
that
those.
shit. It's painted. It is wallpaper free. So
God, what a bitch that was, huh?
that was the biggest part of it, honestly.
How long did you start working? How long ago did you start working on this?
So I did everything in a day. Like once the wallpaper was done, the painting and everything got done.
Yeah, but when did you start the project?
I don't even fucking know. Like 6 months ago.
Probably been like a year.
It hasn't been a year.
Longer than 6
It's been like 6
It
months.
was-
'cause-
I know it was summer.
yeah, I think it was 6 months because I've just been sitting with the tape and everything up. Like I haven't taken anything
I remember,
down.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's good. I put in a dimmer switch and some new light fixtures and stuff. And
Dope.
it's not really like a remodel. Like we still have to take out the sink and everything and
Mhm.
change that at some point. But whatever, it looks way better than it was.
Hey, it's good to get little projects like that done.
And that was the only room in our house that wasn't like, because our entire
Updated.
house was painted white when we came in. So it's like ready to be updated, but that was just stuck in like 3 layers of wallpaper from like the fucking 70s and
Hippies
shit.
live there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful.
There's like tar from them smoking in there, like in the glue and shit. It was fucking gross.
That's harder to get off the longer it's left too, you know.
Yeah, it was awful. But yeah, no, that's all I did. I did that. I got caught up with some shit for work. Steph is feeling better after getting her botched wisdom tooth, and she has a nasal infection and
Jesus,
baby
goodness, man.
sickness all hitting her at once. So I was just doing like everything. My mom had pneumonia, so I was doing her job full time at the church.
You're in our thoughts, Bethany.
Yeah, so their name's not Bethany, but what the fuck?
Jesus.
Dude, your door almost just came off the hinges. Look at that. You got fucking Cujo coming in here. But yeah. So yeah. Everything's good. Ryan, so
We've got a dog up for adoption. If you're looking for a dog, he's a pit bull. He's brown. If you'd like to adopt him, please come knock on my door. Free to a good home. Chris, what's new with you?
Well, had a mandate on Saturday.
Yes, you
You
did.
know, we went to go see Judas and the Black Messiah. For me, it was the 3rd time that I checked out this film, and yeah, it's so damn good. But yeah, Ryan, me, Dan, and Dan's girlfriend went, and yeah, it was fun. Theater wasn't too packed. It was enjoyable. Other than that, I've just been obsessing over the 2021 GMC Canyon all fucking weekend. I've been looking at pictures like left, right. I'm like, I want to see what underneath the seats look like.
Go get that thing.
That's
Go
what
get
I'm
it.
saying.
I I want it so bad.
Like some softcore porn over there for you.
I do, man. I would fuck that truck so bad.
Yeah, right in the tailpipe.
I would.
Get the dual exhaust. Movie was good.
Yeah.
That was a good.
Was that your first time seeing it?
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah. First time
yeah.
where I actually paid full attention to it and everything.
You cried.
I mean, I cried at Free Willy, so
yeah,
I didn't say much, but I did cry at the end. It got me. Is it good? Is it good?
You cry when Willie becomes
when
free?
When he goes over the wall, I cried. Oh, dude, I cried. It was just like,
I would pay $20 to see that whale land on that kid.
Oh, come on.
Could you imagine? It's just beached and dies.
Did you guys not cry? Is that not a normal thing?
Hell, at Free Willy?
You
I don't think I've ever seen Free Willy.
I mean, you were young.
Hell no.
Didn't get to you?
No.
I didn't cry at movies when I was little.
There's like 3
I started
movies.
crying at movies when I was like a teenager.
Dude, Free Willy though? I mean, you were like in the womb probably still when Free Willy came out.
Probably was.
So.
92?
I might have just been born.
Oh man, yeah. When he puts the arm up and he goes and the water's dripping down in slow motion.
Michael Jackson in the background.
Yeah. Dude, it got me.
I cried Pokemon the first movie. That's the first movie I ever cried
This
in.
fucking guy. You
Dude,
make fun of me?
Ash turns into stone.
And you make fun
and
of
the kids,
me.
the Pokemon's tears bring him back to life.
Yeah, no. You don't even make fun of us. Okay. You don't know the Pokemon leader.
Dude. That was the saddest shit.
Jeez. Y'all can never make fun of me.
Dude,
again.
I've cried at movies. It's just not many.
What have you cried at?
Yeah.
There's a Michael Keaton movie that came out in 1993.
Multiplicity?
He's dying
Me
of
too.
no, that was 95. He's dying of cancer. It's called My Life. Fucking heart-wrenching movie, man. Yeah. That was good. What else did I cry at? I'm drawing a brain fart right now, but it's very rare. If you get me, you got me.
It's been on the big screen.
Oh, 12 Years a Slave I cried at.
I almost watched that last night. I didn't though.
I cried during that. Yeah.
So you're getting a new truck. Jesse's
Hopefully
building bathrooms. I think that's it. Nothing new and exciting. I saw the movie. Me and Chris went to the movies with Dan and the girlfriend, like you mentioned.
we had a pee-pee selfie.
We did have a peep. That sounds weird.
Was that Dan in those commercials or in those pictures?
Yeah. It was like Dan,
looked like some
me,
random
Ryan.
dude. Didn't know it was Dan.
That was Dan.
Same man.
We took a MySpace selfie. That sounds a little better than a pee-pee selfie, but we were in the bathroom, so
You call it what you want. I'll call it what I want.
That's
tied your
fine.
PPs together like a balloon animal.
Oh, we did not. We
That's
did
the first
not.
thing that came into my mind.
Jeez. That's weird that's the first thing he thought about.
I don't see what's so wrong with pee-pee selfie.
Goodness gracious. Oh, we're off the
Was
rails.
that a Dane Cook
per
joke?
usual.
No, I just made
No, there was, somebody made a joke about how he dated a clown. She would like blow his dick up and turn into a balloon animal.
That sounds just like
Yep,
Dane Cook.
perfect.
It was Dane.
Who shit on the coats?
So
Dude, there's a hint of shit on or around the coat area that leads me to believe someone shit on the coats.
You can say you didn't shit on the coats, but you know.
That's when I just come in from the crowd. Somebody shit on the coats.
Dude, one of his best skits. I fucking love that. That and shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes do not hold up to place of court law. All right, where are we starting the show? We got sports, we got Hollywood, we got some Let's Get Social.
We've been without sports for a whole
Want to kick it off with
2
sports?
weeks. Do some sports.
Sports
Swung
ball.
line to deep left field. It is gone. 45-40. Run, William, run. 20, 15. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the.
This is locker room talk.
Jesse Unk,
What is-
sports master,
what's
the
going
sports
on?
scholar.
Yeah.
Jesse Unk from ESPN.
Nope. That's a rival.
SI. Sorry.
Sports Illustrated. We don't support
Sports
ESPN.
Illustrated.
Ripped
Not a
off.
sponsor. We
Ripped
do
off
not
by
support ESPN.
Hit us up with the new. What's
The new.
Yeah, what's the new?
My brand new YouTube channel is officially live, The Sports Scholar, where right now I'm converting all of my articles into video format, but then I will be doing some shorts along the way and eventually doing new topics that will be requested, hopefully through comments and viewers.
Oh, you're taking comment.
I'm taking on anything that you guys want to know about. So any big time, rivalries, which side do I take, comparisons of players, greatest lists, any type of thing like that, I am down for.
I'll get in there while he's still taking my comments before the thousands come.
Right.
Yeah.
This is true.
Mhm.
So make sure you check out the Sports Scholar page.
like and subscribe.
Yeah,
subscribe to the channel. Don't just like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to make some money.
Linking that stuff's always hard because YouTube, it's so hard to find stuff. But if you go to Jesse's Facebook or Twitter, probably be even easier, honestly. You can find the link to the Facebook and the YouTube.
Yep.
But yeah, subscribe, hit the bell, like all that fun stuff. Watch 3 videos, intro, and then you got
I have
your intro, and then your real video.
Yep.
So yeah, check that out. What else is new in sports? What's going on?
Today is I thought this would be fun. Today marks the 41st anniversary of what I believe is the greatest call in sports history, which was the Miracle on Ice when the U.S. beat those Soviet commie bastards.
I agree.
And it's the famous "Do you believe in miracles?" call as the clock is ticking down for 10 seconds. So in honor of that being the best call, I believe, I think that it would be fun if we shared 3 of our favorite sports calls in sports history. So I got 3 of my own. Chris, I believe you got 3 also. Ryan doesn't watch sports, so he didn't.
I've got mine.
Oh, you got them?
I have 3, but I don't have the videos. I don't know if we're playing that.
I could do mine first if you want to search for them.
Are we doing videos?
I was going to just play the sound from it, but
okay. One's going to be tough for me to find.
Okay.
Well, Jesse, you kick it off since you've got yours.
All right. So it's going to take me a second to pull them up, but I got it. So the first one comes from my favorite basketball player of all time. I tried to pick calls that were not in our introduction already. So I went with one of my favorite plays against the Boston Celtics, LeBron James, with no regard for human life. Stupid advertisements.
Jeez.
You're going to have to edit this part a lot.
Joe Smith has been terrific. He and Baruchel in this fourth quarter. The work they've done on that front line has been terrific for Cleveland.
Garnett comes out on LeBron. Now they switch it. Here's Pierce again. A Smith screen. Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
I love it.
Bryn Lundqvist is just so emotional, man. He makes golf sound thrilling.
Yeah, he's great. My second one comes at the expense of my college football rival, and that is when Michigan loses to Michigan State on a blocked punt. This is my favorite personal call of all time. This is my all-time favorite. I was watching this game at Johnny J's live, and everybody had turned it off.
Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
He got a little pop.
The last play of the game.
And that's what I was telling Chris beforehand, that I like calls that aren't planned, because he was saying like, oh, I thought for sure you would choose the, Cleveland, the city of champions again. And I think that's a great call, but he planned that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like if we won that, he knew he was going to say it. That thing, you can tell that guy was not expecting it. His voice is going like crazy. It was so good.
He got a little Costas there for a second.
And then the other one, this is my last one. This is my second favorite of the 3. This one is also at the expense of a football rival. This was when Auburn won the Iron Bowl on a missed field goal kick return.
Well, I guess if this thing comes up short, he can field it and run it out. All right, here we go. 56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see. I cannot believe it. 34-28.
The guys in the studio are laughing.
It just keeps going. It's so good. So I think those are 2 of the best ends to a college football game ever, especially that Iron Bowl. That's one of the greatest games in college football history.
But watching that game.
But yeah, those are my 3. I love those calls.
I've only got one, and only one. So I'm going to play mine really quick. Greatest sports moment in history. No sound?
No sound? But it's a call.
Yep.
The ball in Denver has recovered. Oh, my. Or have they? Let's wait for the official.
I wasn't even alive for this, so it doesn't even work as a dig.
Going on under that stack. There it is. Denver's ball at the 2-yard line. Viner had the first and goal and lost the ball.
What a damn shame.
You're so fucking lame.
What a damn shame.
We whipped your ass twice last year. Is that what happened? Once in the playoffs?
Christopher.
That's what I thought.
So I got 3. I know I'll be able to find 2 of them, but the third one's going to be tough. You'll see why in a second. First one I've got here is from the 1988 World Series. It's game 1 of that series. Kirk Gibson hits a game-winning home run for the Dodgers and wins game 1. I'll let the talking
do the talking.
Let the talking do the talking.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable. A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw.
That was great.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was a good one.
And that was Vin Scully. He's actually going to be on here twice on my list. I'll save his other one for last, though. The second one on here is from the 1993 World Series, and this is actually Game 7 between Toronto and Philadelphia.
Okay.
And Joe Carter, who up to that time was a former Indian, now playing for Toronto, had a pretty good career. Wasn't anything that, he didn't have his breakout moment yet until this big hit, a game-winning home run in the World Series, which is still one of the only times, maybe the only time that's ever happened. But here we go.
Advertisements.
God damn it.
Not a sponsor.
Several moments later.
One eternity later.
Fucking YouTube.
Several minutes later.
Joe has had his moments. 2 balls and 2 strikes on it. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a belt. Left field. Way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Jeez, what a moment for him, man.
Yeah. And he was right. I mean, he actually retired, I think 2 years later. He never had a.
How can you top that? I
like
mean,
that.
you're a god forever at that point. And
Yeah. I mean, Game 7, 1 pitch wins it all.
Right.
Yeah.
The third one I have, I'm not going to try to look it up, but it's actually me being a movie guy. I actually took it from a movie.
Okay.
Because to me, I think this call is terrific. From 2000, for Love of the Game, starring Kevin Costner.
Yes.
He plays an aging pitcher named Billy Chappell, who is playing his last game. He's the only one that knows that. He pitches for the Detroit Tigers, and he's going into Yankee Stadium to pitch the last game of his career in a meaningless season. The Yankees are already in the playoffs. Detroit's horrible, means nothing. He ends up pitching a perfect game through 8 innings. And then going into the 9th and final inning, they leave him in, and Vin Scully has this amazing call. I'm going to quote it right here. And Steve, you get the feeling that Billy Chappell isn't pitching against left-handers. He isn't pitching against pinch hitters. He isn't pitching against the Yankees. He's pitching against time. He's pitching against the future, against age. And even when you think about his career, against ending. That's Vin Scully about Billy Chappell.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, that movie gives me constant goosebumps. A lot of people don't like it because they think it's sappy or melodramatic, but I think it's one of the best baseball movies of all time.
Forbid anybody have any emotion or anything.
I know,
It's
but
a fantastic movie.
I wish I could find the sound. If I find it, maybe I'll send it to you. And
I can pull it up.
Okay,
I'm sure I can find it. So
That's Candy Crush.
this fucking guy.
I thought I found it.
let's play Candy Crush.
Okay, so greatest sports moments. What else we got, Jesse?
Well, that was fun. I just deleted the fucking list. JJ Watt, circling over to football. He has parted ways with the Texans. I don't think that we had said that last time I was here.
Mm-mm.
So JJ Watt mutually decided to leave with the Texans. They let him go. They cut him so that he could go wherever he wanted to. They saved a little bit of money, worked out for both of them. And now everybody in the league wants him. There are people saying he's going to go to the Steelers to be with his brother. There are people saying he's going to go to the Packers because he's from Wisconsin. There are people saying he's going to go to Cleveland because apparently reports say that he thinks we're a Super Bowl contender, us and the Packers. But there are also things down with the Titans, stuff in San Francisco, like all of these different places where they're saying that he is going to go. I would be happy if he came to us for the right price.
Right.
What's your price?
As long as he is taking a 2-year deal that is front loaded, I do not care what the price is because we have the money. I would be really happy if we got him for $25 million over 2 years with 20 guaranteed. I think that he's going to cost more like 30 to 35 million for 2 years. I don't think he's worth that. The dude has played like 9 games in the last 3 years or something insane like that. He's been really injury prone the last few years. I also think that he'll be able to stay healthier in Cleveland because of Myles Garrett. They won't be able to double team him and do what they've been doing to him down in Texas. But I don't have a feeling he's going to be there. I'm with you, Chris. I think he's going to be with Green Bay.
Unfortunately.
It's closer to his wife. She's in Chicago, I believe.
Yeah.
So what is that? That's like a 1 hour flight, 2 hour flight or something.
Yeah.
She's a professional soccer player.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like hour and a half, something like that.
Not too bad. Which I guess you could say for Cleveland as well, but I don't know. I mean, the Packers all they need is a defense, just like the Browns. But if you're going to take a quarterback, I love me some Baker, but you're definitely going to take Aaron Rodgers. So I think that he could end up there. They have some money issues, though. We have all the money to pay him. And we are also the #1 team in cap rollover, which is a new thing this year, where if you have unused cap, some of it rolls over for the next year. So we're rolling over about $30 million.
I think that's what's tough about the situation is that, so like if Cleveland wants him, they're almost going to have to overpay for him. And that goes against everything you said.
Yeah.
It's one of those, kind of double-edged swords. Like which way do you go with it?
And I know that we're like the Moneyball team because we've got like the analytics guys and everything, but I don't think that they'll sacrifice winning and a chance of that window because they're going to look at it statistically and go, okay, we've got our quarterback under a rookie contract for a few more years. We've got all these other guys under a rookie contract. We have 2 years to have the best chance of a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then after that, we're going to have to really manage our team and work for it. So if we want to go in there with Ward, Chubb, Miles, Baker, Kareem, and Odell and Jarvis, and still be able to add a player like JJ Watt, we got 2 years. And I think that they might break the bank for a 2-year thing just to get a guy that might be able to dominate. Because all you need is 1 year of classic JJ Watt. And then it doesn't matter what he does,
And their biggest problem is their defense. So, I mean,
100%.
If they can plug some of those holes, maybe the draft well.
Yep. And if you can get a guy who, you draft well like you did last year, you get another elite pass rusher who's able to go out there. Miles is no longer getting double teamed, and neither is JJ Watt because you just can't now.
Yeah.
You can get really creative with your schemes that way. You still got Sheldon Richardson, who's a problem up the middle. And you're getting Grant Delpit back. Ronnie Harrison will be back healthy. He had a really good year this year. And you're getting Greedy Williams back. We don't know what he can do yet because he hasn't really been able to play. But if he can even be average, an elite pass rush, makes your defensive backfield elite.
I definitely want to see more of Delpit for sure. Like I feel like we got cut a lot last year.
Man, I think he's going to be great.
Yeah,
I really do. He was my #1 safety in the entire draft.
Yeah,
and we got him in the second round. I was thrilled.
I wanted him for Dallas. Yeah, I remember saying that.
So, yeah.
It still blows my mind thinking about, you're talking about the money that they're going to pay him. And just to think like your worth to someone or your talent speaks that you're worth $30 million for 2 years of your life.
Yep.
Not even because you only play half the season. So a year of your time, $30 million. Like what a feeling.
The sad thing is in NFL money, that's like chump change.
It's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, but
that just blows my mind that for someone to say, oh yeah, I'm going to pay you that much money. fucking come play some football.
Yep.
That's just crazy, man.
Last time we had a conversation about football, it was talking about TJ Watt versus Aaron Donald.
Yes.
Prime JJ Watt versus prime Aaron Donald. Who do you take? Both are 3-time defensive player of the years.
Prime JJ versus Aaron. I'm taking Donald.
I'm taking Donald too.
I'm taking JJ.
And I'll tell
it's close, but I'm taking Donald.
I'll tell you why. We've seen the whole picture with JJ. We've seen a fraction of what Aaron Donald can do in his 5-year career,
6, I think.
6-year career. He's got a long way to go.
That is true. But just looking at their prime years that they've had,
it's close. I mean, I think
still Donald. I don't think you can go wrong either way. They're both amazing players.
if you can keep JJ healthy, I'm fine taking JJ.
Yeah. JJ's just so good at batting the ball down. He was on offense a couple of times. Like that one year he had like 4 receiving touchdowns playing tight end and stuff. Like he's just a freak. I love JJ Watt.
I'll tell you this. I'm more scared to face Donald for sure. Like anytime the Cowboys go up against the Rams, I'm always like, get every player on him that we have and plug him out.
Yep.
You want to hear something really funny? Just comparing different players. I was watching White Men Can't Jump yesterday. It's Woody Harrelson?
Yep.
You want to know a football player that he reminded me of in that movie? Think of someone. Is there anybody that you could think of that he visually reminds you of if you look at how young he was in that movie?
A football player?
Yeah. Dude, all I could think about...
Or John Elway?
No, all I can think about watching him as a young is Gronk.
No.
Yes. Their faces, they got this goofy face. Like Gronk is a weird looking dude. And looking at Woody Harrelson, then young, clean cut.
Gronk has like a pointed nose that comes out.
Dude, he reminded me of Gronk. It's all I could think about the whole fucking movie. I'm like, this is so weird. But I'm like, that's fucking Gronkowski, man. It was super odd. And that's such a good movie.
Now, who do the Stookie brothers remind you of?
Oh, jeez. The fucking that's a good question. They remind me of the Wet Bandits.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Yeah, that's a good. I take Donald though. I think that's good. That's a good battle.
It's
What?
tough.
I mean, that's a really hard comparison. I mean, they're both elite at what they do. I mean, you're not losing either way.
Yeah, I think history will show. I mean, it all depends on what Donald continues to do, obviously. But if their careers ended right now, I think history would show Watt was a better player, just because people forget how those elite years were insane.
Well, Watt had to carry more, that's for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But moving on from there, going into basketball, we got 2 separate things. Normally, we don't talk about the Cavs during basketball season because there's nothing to talk about now that LeBron's gone.
Yeah.
But they started the season pretty well. You know, they were about a 500 team. They were really surprising people. Colin Sexton was playing incredible basketball. Garland was great. Drummond was like the best center in the league. Like he was dominating. And since then, once all that happened, Colin Sexton made a post that said, the Cavs are for real. And since then, can anybody tell me how many games we have lost in a row? Since
10.
that post, 10 straight losses.
Yikes.
10 losses in a row. So now,
Can anyone name where it started?
was it with the Suns? Was it?
Yes.
This fucking
Fuck
guy.
you guys.
Who've won 10 out of 12.
Thanks for beating up on us. Okay. We're just the Cavs. We don't have anything going on. Since then, Andre Drummond is been benched, not because of anything wrong with him, really. They're just going to trade him, but nobody fucking wants him. So he's just sitting in street clothes on the side of the bench.
Yeah.
Kevin Love has played all of, here's a fun fact. How many games has Kevin Love played this year? And it's not 0.
5?
12.
2 games. Kevin Love has played 2 games. That dude is under contract for 2 more years, and he has played 82 games in the last 3 years.
Wow, he's played 1 season in the last. He's sat for 2 seasons.
What's going on with him? What's his deal right now?
He's hurt. I don't fucking know.
Oh
He's
my God.
pissing me off. He started the season off by bitching and moaning and not being a good locker room guy. And now we have him under a terrible contract where nobody's going to sign him. He's what, like 33 now or something like that? He's up there. He can't play anymore. Nobody's going to take that money. So we've got him stuck. Like, we need to find a way to buy him out or something so that we can at least just say, all right, we're tanking this year. Next year, we'll use this money somewhere else.
When LeBron left, they should have just dumped him then and tried to figure something out.
I said to trade him the second that he left because he was never going to be Fat Kevin again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jeez. You need him to be Fat Kevin, man. Fat Kevin was the best Kevin when he was with the Timberwolves, when he was averaging 20 points and like 12 rebounds or something a game. It was insane.
Second best Wolf of all time, in my opinion.
It was insane. And now I love him. He brought me a ring. I love him more than Kyrie because Kyrie's a bitch and I don't care what he did for us because fuck him now. But it's really tough, Kevin.
Clapping.
I need
Slow
you.
Clap.
I really need you to get on the court, Kevin.
Fucking Kevin.
But yeah, so we're a shit show again. We're not moving anywhere. I just wanted to do an update on that. In better
news,
a
one and done. That Cavs championship was a one and done.
It wasn't though.
That's not going to happen.
The Cavs had the worst luck during all of those LeBron years because you get LeBron and he's insane. He's absolutely just like unstoppable. But you have the Pistons, who were really good at the time. They were dominating. I don't know if I would call them a dynasty, but they were damn close. You had the Celtics, who are a big three dynasty. Yep. So you had to run into both of them. Got your ass handled by them over and over and over again. Yeah. You finally make it to the finals. You run into the dynasty Spurs, and then LeBron leaves, and then he comes back, and you assemble this godlike team that is just insane. And then fucking Warriors come along. And the first year we should have won. We should have had 2 rings, but Kevin breaks his kneecap, and Kyrie breaks his kneecap, and Kevin gets his arm pulled out of its socket by Kelly Olynyk.
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck you, Kelly Olynyk. You're still a piece of shit. Top 10 most hated villains of Cleveland.
Sheesh.
Next year we come back, greatest championship run of all time. And then they get Kevin Durant because they're bitches. So we just got fucked.
Cleveland fashion.
Should have competed. Could have been one of the greatest rivalries of all time, but they took the easy way out and went and got Big Brother on the cheap.
Now look at them.
I know.
They're worthless.
So
worthless.
In positive news, LeBron James he is now one of 3 players to have ever reached the milestone of 35,000 career points. Number 1 being Kareem, who has 38.3. Mm-hmm. Number 2 being Karl Malone, who I believe has 36 and change. I don't remember. 36.9?
Yeah.
36.9.
He's going to get number 1. How far do you think he exceeds it, though? I mean, realistically, if he averages 30 points a game, it would take
he's not averaging for 30.
No? Less than that? Really?
30 points a game is a league leading average. That's pretty high.
I think he's about 27 right now.
Okay, but that's close. So we say but at 30, it would only take him a year and a half to beat that. So you can give him 2 seasons. If it's not 30, even in 2 seasons, the dude's going to be around for much longer than that. He's going to.
The last 2 years, he averaged about 21.
Okay.
And remember also, so what's unfair to LeBron's disadvantage right now is we had half a season last year.
Right.
We cut 10 more games this year.
Yep.
Like these things keep happening. It's harder for sure.
And he's behind by 3,000 some points, right?
He should be able to do it in 2.5 years based on 20-point averages.
Even at 21 points, that's 1,500 in a season.
Yeah. So he should be able to surpass it in like 2.5 years, maybe more, but he's past first now. So I'm thinking he'll stick right around that 20-point average. But he's not going to be done in 2 years.
And 30 points is the average?
Yeah.
I feel like for like a LeBron, like that seems like nothing.
Yeah. No. On average, like he still has his games where he goes out and gets like 18 points with 13 assists. Like it's not uncommon to have a game like that.
Seems low.
But sometimes defenses adjust and they say, well, we're going to guard LeBron twice as hard tonight. And then they go, okay, well, fine. It's Anthony Davis's night tonight. And we're going to give it to him for 40 points.
And you got to think to average 30 points. Like that's your every single game.
Right.
So that means you're sprinkling in some 40 pointers, some 50 pointers. Like he ain't doing that during the regular season.
That's true, yeah.
He's focused just on winning.
I think the hardest thing too, that people overlook about this list is that, so it takes a clean bill of health for so long. And that's so rare in our league. This is the thing that LeBron doesn't get enough credit for. He is the most well-conditioned athlete of all time.
Doesn't miss games, man.
Bar none. As far as it goes, so like there's a reason why Kobe didn't break it. There's a reason why all these great scorers didn't break it. They came close, they were right there, but didn't break it because it takes that consistent build. You have to play for one, you have to play about 20 seasons to get it. LeBron will definitely play 20.
Kobe played 20 and didn't make it because he was injured the last 3 or 4.
Exactly. Every player you look at down the stretch, like even Durant's already had his injury. Like that's the thing. You look at these players, if they have one long injury, it contradicts everything. Like it compromises everything that you're going for.
So that's one of the things too, which I find interesting. Anytime it's like sports related stats, and a lot of it comes with the LeBron and Jordan argument, is attempts or like how long they've played. So like LeBron beating it.
He's the youngest player to ever reach it.
I would say what's his time frame in comparison to like
right now he's at 18 years.
But what are the 1 and 2 players? What were they at?
Oh God. Kareem played over 20 years.
Kareem played 20.
I think he played till 90
years. Like he was a long.
Yeah. I think 22.
I think it was 20. Yeah, it was over 20.
Okay, so that's good.
And
so
Carl, I think, played 20.
It's about 20. Yeah.
Yeah, I just you see that a lot. Like people will be like, well, yeah, of course LeBron got it because he played 8 years longer than anybody else, and obviously you're going to rack up the points.
The thing that I think is incredible though is that LeBron has always been a pass first player. Kareem was not a passing player. He was a shoot first, give me the ball, I'm going to score. Karl Malone, not a passing player. He was a shoot first. He was known as a great scorer. Same thing with Kobe. Kobe's not a passing player. Jordan was not a passing player. LeBron last year led the league in assists. LeBron is the best passing forward ever.
They always compared him to Magic when he first came in the league, like his ability to, off look and off the dribble and all that. Yeah.
He is insane. Pass first, still the youngest player to ever do it. And I know he started when he was 18, but you can't make that argument because Kobe was 18 also, and he didn't hit that mark.
And there's one big thing that LeBron has in his advantage. It's the fact that he's consistent. He goes to the playoffs every year. So like, I'm not saying that's a disadvantage toward his reputation. I'm just saying he has more chances. Like the thing is, if you make a deep run every year, then you're going to play an extra 15, 16 games every year. And there you go.
He's added multiple seasons onto his career based on just the playoffs. I think he's played like 2 full extra seasons with playoffs alone.
Wow.
But yeah, so I think to go back to your question to say where he will end, I think he gets 40,000 points. I think he's the only player to ever do it.
Yeah.
Because if he plays 4 more years, he'll break that.
Yeah.
He's going to play with his son.
4 more years would put him out around 6,000 more points, right, from where he's at now.
And nobody will touch that.
That's insane.
Nobody scores like that. I mean, it's just not happening. Nobody's going to last that long. It's so hard to do.
Yeah. To Chris's point, the dude is conditioned. He takes such good care of himself. He's always working out off season, during the season. The dude's regimen is insane. And I mean, he's a machine.
Yeah.
He's rarely injured. He rarely misses games ever.
It's as to where I think Tom Brady has defined time with his mind. I think LeBron has defined it with his body.
Yeah. Brady's not doing what he used to be able to do. He's still great, but he's just the smartest player on the court. LeBron is physically gifted and the smartest player on the court. Like people don't give that enough credit, I don't think. But that's all I got for sports. It's just that's it. Big accomplishment.
We got a lot. We don't have a lot going on with sports right now, but I think that was a good topic though. It was a good conversation. Hollywood or Let's Get Social. You guys have a preference on what we do next?
Let's do Hollywood.
Hollywood.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down! Two, Steve, assemble!
Bum, 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 bum. The boys are getting lit tonight. Jesse and Chris over here pounding down the brews.
I need one. It's been a long day.
On my first one. I've just finished my first one.
I think next week I'll try one of those.
It's good.
Thank you, sir.
Hollywood Report with Christopher, the film freak, Kessinger. What is going on, sir?
Well, we got a few things to talk about this week. I want to kick it off right off the bat, though, with a little trailer talk. Yes, Mortal Kombat style. Guys, we finally got the trailer. It seemed like we were waiting forever for this. Movie drops in April, and we still hadn't gotten a trailer in late February. Existed. Yeah.
I didn't even know it was coming.
Oh, really?
It was a total shock. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and that's people were yelling because there's no trailer yet, like with less than 2 months to go. There you go. Yeah. Now, if that music was playing, perfect trailer.
So classic.
Good. Yeah. So fucking good.
So basically, you know, we've all checked out this trailer. Let's not lie.
Chickadee check.
Guys, I want to get your first thoughts on it, and then I'll take the floor after.
Jesse Unk, what are you thinking about the old MK?
Dude, I thought it looked great. I'm really, really hoping that this movie pans out because, as we know, as we've talked about before, video game movies, not good. But this looks like they got a decent cast. Well, I don't know the name of the guy that's playing Scorpion, but I've seen him in other stuff.
Very well cast, that guy that we don't know.
I mean, he's like an Asian actor. I don't know any other names. Wow. Sorry. You can hit the button if you want, but I don't.
The thoughts and comments of Jesse Unk do not reflect the Made to Motivate podcast in any way.
Sorry.
Ryan, would you like to talk about the trailer?
It's not Asian History Month. We need a timestamp for that one.
The thoughts and comments of Jesse Unk do not reflect the Made to Motivate podcast in any way.
This guy.
Lighten my segment up tonight, Unk. Thanks.
Get a beer or two in this guy, and you can't take him anywhere. All right.
Fuck.
Had freaking Dan last week pulling Jesse comments out of nowhere. All right. Anyway, great casting.
No, it looks brutal though. It looks so good when the Sub-Zero fight happened and he slashes the guy's arm and the blood goes up and he freezes it and stabs him with his own blood.
The icicle.
I was just like, oh my God. It just looks incredible. I'm kind of salty that they showed all the fatalities. I hope that they don't. I hope they have a lot more in store. I know they were really quick, but I mean, I broke that shit down to the frame, so I saw it all. I know it all
for sure.
I do not have the same energy as Jesse does. I'm hopeful, or I was hoping to feel that way because we've been talking about this for like a year now that this was going to be coming out.
Yeah.
And watch the first trailer, and I don't know. I want it to be great. I like the original. I know everyone hates the originals, but I enjoyed that more than this trailer.
You like every shitty movie.
I know.
In the world.
I like all movies. I'm easily entertained.
I don't mind the first one. I hate the second one.
This movie, and Chris, I was trying to grasp for what I was thinking of what it was about the trailer that I didn't like, and Chris sized it up for me. It comes off as a fan film to me. The production quality of it just doesn't seem that great. Not that it visually isn't good, but it's like it was an amateur production team. Like their angles and like the zoom ins and the way that the camera moves, it doesn't look like that beautiful cinematic movie to me. There's something about it I don't love.
It's very gritty. It's very dark. It almost seems like
it's just the movie. It's the movements. It's the framing. Man, I hope it's good. I do like what Jesse said, like some of the CGI stuff or like the blood icicle and stuff is dope.
That wasn't real.
I mean, it's very possible, but maybe I misstepped. It was real.
Probably. The effect itself
was cool, but I'm not sold yet. I'm going to watch it. By all means, I will see it, but I don't have high hopes for it being like excellent as much as I want it to be.
So for me, I've seen it probably 4 or 5 times now. And it's not even so much my excitement for it. It's just, I'm kind of like Jesse. When I watch something like that, I kind of want to study it. And for me, first of all, to make this movie rated R, was there ever a decision in your mind? Like, I mean, how did you make 2 movies that weren't rated R?
Right.
So that's the key. Has to be bloody, has to be violent. Yeah. It's carnage candy.
Well, I liked that it was a Red Band trailer too.
Yes. And I think that's the thing. When you talk about like they showed too much, and I agree they did. I think for a Red Band trailer though, you have to give that essence of a Mortal Kombat game, because why did so many people like the video games? They were bloody. They were ahead of their time as far as violence and gore went. Yeah. So I think to give them that kind of trailer, it teases them in. Now I think there's more. I really do.
It better be.
I don't think we've seen even half of everything this movie. There's so many characters and there's so many different fatalities along the way that there's no way we did. One thing that kind of questions me, so like there's this main character in there who's not a part of the games,
Cole.
Yeah, Cole. And I've watched a couple of videos on like his backstory and who he is to everybody else compared to the story. And I can understand from a protagonist point to have like a human character we can relate to, because most of these characters are obviously supernatural in their element. But I don't know. To me, I was always fine with having Liu Kang as kind of like the outside source. Like it always felt right because it was his tournament. It was his family's tournament.
Yep.
You know, he trained under Shao Kahn. It was, you know, all these things going on. So I kind of like that point about it. I love the Sub-Zero storyline. They kind of poke fun at Mortal Kombat 4 on that instance. Like he received this whole like fugitive storyline. It's his backstory. They get into Kano a little bit. Kano's Australian. Thank the fuck Christ. And it's just, yeah, I thought well casted, you know, nobody that honestly I know, and I'll lay that out there right now.
Except for that one Asian guy, right?
The visual likeness of everybody I thought was perfect for the casting. I'm excited for it. Going into it, like before the trailer, when I heard there was a Mortal Kombat movie, I'm like, yeah, we'll see. You know, like it is what it is. I think this trailer did its job, though. I think it sold the movie, and I think more people will watch it now because of such.
Mortal Kombat saves the theaters.
Get the fuck out of here. As the movie critic here, do you think the trailer was deserving of the hype it is getting? I mean, people are blowing this shit up, man. Like when that day it came out, I hadn't seen the trailer. Yeah, I know you had sent it, but I was working or something. I didn't get to watch it, and I got on Facebook, and it was just post after post after post about the fucking trailer. And then I watched it, and I was like, what did I miss?
This is going to hurt you in particular, and I apologize for that.
It's okay.
They're not blowing it up because the possibility that it could be a great movie or anything like that. They're blowing it up because the other two were so, you know, thought of as less than respectable. Like I said, I don't mind the first movie. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. The second movie's dog shit though. But you know, I think that's the thing. So they see something, they see all these visuals, they see, you know, a trailer that literally grabs them by the chest and yanks them in Scorpion style.
Hiroyuki Sanada. That is Scorpion's
Thank
name.
you.
That's not, that's better than what
Jesse redeemed himself.
got before. Yeah. So yeah, I think they just want to connect to it. And the fact that, you know, remember we've talked about this before, nostalgia, no matter what a trailer looks like, people are going to connect with it because it's from their childhoods.
Yeah.
So the fact that,
you know, I'm like that though. And I watched this and I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel that. Like I was just shocked. I did not anticipate the amount of posts for this movie and like people just sucking it off.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
I don't think it's going to be, is it going to be one of the best films of the year? Probably not.
No.
But will it be fun as shit?
Yes.
That's what I want.
And that's the thing. So like when you talk about movies these days, a lot of people love the Fast and Furious franchise because they're fun. They're mindless fun and people can go and invest in them. Are they the best films of the year? Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Who said it's going to save the theater? What place was that?
Me.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm saying it saves the
I
theater.
thought you read an article. I'm like, this.
No, that's going to drive in
Oh my god.
droves of people. That movie is going to make a shitload of money. Whether it's good or not, that opening weekend is going to be insane.
I'll say this. I wouldn't care if Marlon Wayans saved the theaters. Like, just bring him in. I don't care. If Adam Sandler saved the theaters, I'd say good. Bring him in. Come on.
That movie's going to blow up, especially now that these vaccines and stuff are rolling out. I think that'll be the first major movie that we get.
It's May, June?
April. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's why I said, like, it was less than 2 months and we hadn't even gotten a trailer yet.
Yeah, that's wild.
Which is not always a good thing. But
yeah,
if it's fun to watch and it's gory and it's not corny enough that it takes me out of it, I'm going to have fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's why I don't like Fast and the Furious, because they're driving fucking Porsches out of skyscrapers into other skyscrapers. I'm just like, that's not it. That couldn't happen.
Dragging a 100-ton safe down the street with a Camaro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
3 Camaros.
Could do it.
3 Camaros.
They have Z06s.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Even me sitting there with no car knowledge is going, nah, Z06 can't do that.
Yeah. Kind of linking video game worlds here. I want to talk
like that play on words.
I want to talk about.
Wait. Can I cut you off real quick?
Yeah.
My hope. I know.
Segue of all time.
I know. I'm sorry. My greatest hope for Mortal Kombat is that if it does really, really well, that I can get a Tekken movie that does not fucking suck. That's all I wanted to say.
Just better video game movies in general.
If you can make a good fighting, like Tekken has a great story behind it. You could do, I think it'd be better as a TV show where you have like
most would.
One episode is all about King watching Armor King die and the connections of that. And then you've got Jin Kazama, all of them. And it finally finishes with the tournament. But man, it'd be so good. You could make a fucking awesome movie. I love Tekken. That's my
I like
fighting game.
Tekken.
I like
Tekken's
Tekken
good.
more than Mortal Kombat personally.
Okay, back to Chris. He's
Sorry.
gonna link Mortal Kombat to another
Speaking of
awesome
video
video
games.
game history.
If I could, link the past to video games there a little bit. My favorite video game franchise of all time and one of the most famous video game franchises of all time turned 35 just yesterday, and that is Zelda. Wow. Guys, as far as it goes, so you look back on this franchise full of, oh my God, over 20 games at this point. This zigzag of a timeline that goes back, forward, up, down, side to side. Is it worthy of the legend that it has received?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the greatest video game franchises of all time.
Mm-hmm.
We had an episode on here once where we talked about our favorite video game music.
Yeah.
And my soundtrack was from Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's something just about that. The music plays so well into that video game series.
So epic.
And that original one, I still love going back and playing that. The overhead aerial view.
Yeah.
The game is fantastic. 35 years is crazy.
You're talking the Legend of Zelda, the 86 one? Yeah.
Yes. Like the original, the
Yeah.
OG. That game is so good. And the music to that is so good.
Yeah.
I think it's very well respected. I don't know many people that don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
35 years seems crazy though. I mean, that's a long, I don't know many other franchises that with that
Mario
longevity.
There's not
Mario.
a lot. Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Nintendo, man, they've got that longevity. There's
Yeah.
some of the originals. So
Yeah.
have you played or are you into Zelda at all, Jesse?
I didn't grow up playing it a lot. I didn't play it at all growing up. I remember I played a little bit of the N64. What is it? That's not the Ocarina. of Time.
Ocarina, yeah.
Yep.
Played that a little bit.
The gold one.
Loved it. It's
Oh, yeah.
super fun, but I didn't have an N64. And I was a Donkey Kong kid on Super Nintendo, and then I went straight to PlayStation. So
Yeah.
I have years of like gaps. I've thought about getting the Switch versions, which are like the
They're good,
Wind
dude.
Waker or something. I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
I heard they're fantastic. I know it's a great game. I know that it has a great story. I know that it has great music, and I want to go back and play them, but it's just one of those things where I just haven't had the systems and I haven't had the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I definitely respect it for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, kind of piggybacking on what you said, like the music for me is just epic. That's always what drew me in. I had the gold cartridge too. Actually, I still have it.
Me too. It's right over here.
Do you? Okay. And I'll pull it out, play it every now and then. Yeah, it's so epic, and for its time, you look at a game like that, how it was done, how it was produced, how the visuals look. There's some really dark and nightmarish imagery in those castles of that game that you gonna grip.
I was gonna try. I can't reach it though.
Okay. And yeah, it just made an image on you. And then you go from there and you have Adventures of Link, which was the 87 sequel to that. Not as great of a game like as the original, but still fun nonetheless. It's a side scroller, which I enjoyed. And then my favorite is A Link to the Past. Always has been. That game to me is not only the best Super Nintendo game of all time, it is a game that is timeless. Like I will play that game 40 years from now and still try to collect every item that I can to beat it and beat my time on it, which is currently 2 hours and 27 minutes.
Wow.
But yeah, the whole franchise for me, it's great. I've always been a huge Zelda fan. It's the one series that even though I don't collect the consoles today, like I'm not as knowledgeable as you two are when it comes to video games, but Zelda's the one game that I will play. I will go to a friend's house and I will get that game and I will play just for that game.
Who's the main character in Zelda?
A Link. Yeah, it's not.
It's Zelda.
For the longest. But dude, it's so funny though how many people don't realize that.
I have a shirt that says that. Stop calling me Zelda.
Yeah,
Do people still not realize that though?
A lot
I
of
feel
people
like that's
still
like
think
that's like a viral like meme now to be
Yeah.
like
for the long.
duh.
I remember growing up, like everyone called Link Zelda, and I was like, "That's not Zelda."
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Have you played the game?
It's like people who don't know that Metroid's a girl. And,
Yes.
yeah.
They even say in the opening scroll of the 86 game, like Link has to rescue Princess Zelda.
Yep.
It's not that hard to piece together.
Yeah.
But yeah, just genius games. I'm so glad that they're still making them, and I'm still glad that they're influencing a new generation of video game enthusiasts.
Yep.
That game has inspired, like that series has inspired so many other games too. Like I said, there was nothing like Zelda on the 8-bit console
Right.
when it first came out. I mean, Mario was cool, but it wasn't epic. It didn't take you through various landscapes and you know, where you were collecting items to reach your goal at the end.
That was something I liked about Zelda, was the open map, like where you could just explore. Like Mario's land was vast, but you had to follow a pathway. You didn't have the ability to just go wherever you wanted and explore at your own free will.
Yeah.
And that made a huge difference.
I would say until Final Fantasy came along, that was probably the next one that took that to the next level.
And that's one I never got into.
Yeah.
That's one that rivals.
I've heard it's so good. I just downloaded it, actually.
It's fantastic, but I never got in. I played maybe one, or my brother had PlayStation, so like he had, and I would play occasionally. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. I don't think I gave it the chance, but I think much like you, probably I didn't have the system. I've never been PlayStation, and it's PlayStation based. But that's something that kind of rivals or marvels like Zelda, I think, as far as game style and whatever. But
I think I just missed a lot of that stuff because I was like right in the age where I came in. Like my first console was Super Nintendo.
We're in between,
but I was young, so I didn't really want to play like a big adventure game. That's the same reason why I didn't do Final Fantasy with my PlayStation.
Yeah,
I was growing up playing the kid games like Super Mario World 3, Donkey Kong Country 2,
so good.
Clay Fighters.
Yes.
Clay Fighters was the shit.
These big colorful animated games. Though.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't have any like type of story stuff. Like I was still playing like Lion King on Super Nintendo and shit like that.
God, what a tough game.
Remember when we talked about renting video games and like never doing it? Clay Fighters was a game I used to rent all the time.
Clay Fighters,
I couldn't buy
so
it.
Good. Who was your player?
I played with the snowman guy.
I played with the snowman, but my main guy was Tiny.
Oh, geez.
The big ripped dude. I used to go around my house all the time and be like, yeah.
Dude.
There's got to be a Halloween picture somewhere down the line.
Dude, it was great.
What a fucking game.
It was such a fun game.
But yeah, I just wanted to shed some light on Zelda. I think it's pretty cool, you know, 35 years. And, you know, me, myself, I'm 36. Zelda was the second video game that I ever owned in my life. Like, obviously, Super Mario came with the console, but Zelda was the first one I technically bought. So yeah. Moving on, we already passed Valentine's Day, but well, we lost our favorite couple, Kim and Kanye.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
Yeah,
that it lasted or that they broke up.
No, it's a miracle for me. I'm gonna get so much good music now.
So when I added when I added this to Hollywood Report, that was gonna be my question. Do you think we're gonna get some Taylor Swift out of Kanye, or he's gonna write some fucking banging music because of his breakup?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I really hope so, because
I want the old Kanye.
Yes,
the old Kanye.
What I wanna know is that I thought Kanye was all religious and stuff. He can't get divorced.
I don't care about none of that. I hope he gives up all the religious music.
He renounced his throne. He's no longer
I'm
man
religious.
of God.
I'm religious, but the worst thing that ever happened to Kanye was the religious music thing, because now all of these people that I grew up with that are also religious, that
Kanye's the greatest thing ever now,
are very, very serious about. I'm not gonna say I'm not serious about my religion, but you know, those people are like over the top. They don't, you know, whatever. They're all Kanye fans now. Oh, I love that ocean song. I love water. I love. I don't even know what the songs are because I don't listen to the album because there's only 3 good songs on it. Chick-fil-A. Like, that album has 3 good songs on it, and those 3 songs are bangers. But Life of Pablo came out before that, and that had religious undertones, but it wasn't like gospel music. And I think that's a top 3 album for him. That album is great.
Life of Pablo.
It's so good. And like, I thought that was good because I was like, oh, he's kind of like going back to his religious roots, because he's always had religion in his music, but it wasn't like the only thing that he focused on, and it wasn't restricted to that. Like, there's a line in that where he brings on Chance the Rapper, and he's talking about how his ex, like how he left his ex, and he's like, I bet that my ex is looking back like a pillar of salt. And I'm like, God damn, that's from, you know, I know that's from Leviticus and this and that, and it's like all these religious things in there, and it's just dope because it's like undertones,
and someone else wouldn't get that,
and no, but it's gonna make somebody look it up, and then I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, if you're just doing, I don't know, like, Use This Gospel's a good song, but it's not something I'm just gonna like sit and vibe to. Like, I love Kanye's music, man. Kanye is my favorite artist of all time, and I really don't like the direction that he went. I appreciate it. I respect it. I'm glad that he's, you know, finding his religious roots. I think that's important, but like, you're an artist, do some good music. Don't restrict yourself.
Ryan,
so I'm looking forward to it.
Ryan, what do you think about all this?
Well, I think the reason that Kim divorced him was because he released these.
Oh God. Oh, I forgot about those.
Leave the shoes alone.
I think this was the end all say all, the Yeezy foam runners.
Those look like a Ken Babby promotion for the rubber ducks.
They're awful. Look, I don't ever wish that on anybody. I know going through that, it's got to be real tough. I don't get into celebrity gossip, so I really don't know what the true reasoning behind them breaking up is.
Allegedly, he fucked a makeup artist guy. Some famous viral makeup artist person. I don't know if that's true, but that's the rumor.
In which case, if he cheated on her, then she has every right to divorce him. So look, maybe we get something great out of it. Maybe he releases some new music. I've never been really huge into Kanye music. It sucks for him. I mean, they were a big couple, and I thought that their story was really interesting because I would have never pictured them together.
And it worked.
It worked though. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. She helped, I feel like, really build his career, get him to a place that he's at. So it'll be interesting to see what he does now on his own. But I don't know, man. It's a huge loss for him, I'm sure.
It's crazy because they were together 8 years and they had 4 kids.
That's wild.
Like so in addition to, I think he has 2 other kids before her.
I'm not sure.
So it's like that's kind of who I feel sorry for in all of this, you know, ultimately. You know,
because they're gonna have to live with the Kardashians.
Of course. And you know, they have one of the nicest houses too that I've seen, like as far as celebrity houses go.
Yeah.
Like, damn, does she get to live there now, or does he?
He's gonna get fucked, man.
Damn.
Get fucked.
They're both gonna be fine.
Yeah,
sure.
They're gonna be fine. And
neither one of them is taking each other's money either. Like, I'm sure he's taking what he's made. Yeah, they're gonna split cold.
And here's the thing, guys, we will eventually get over it. I'll tell you why. Because even throughout it all, even throughout the messy divorce and everything, we will always have the music video for Bound 2. More particularly, we will have the music video spoof for Bound 2 from Seth Rogen and James Franco, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, dude. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I thought it was something I wanted to kind of ask the music question more than anything. Like, I really don't care too much the fact that they're no longer going to be married.
So what's the question then? Basically?
What I asked Jesse, are we going to get some good music out of it?
Oh, yeah.
Like, are we going to is he going to have that, like, where you go through that breakup and turmoil and you turn it into something great and you release some fucking bangers and shit, you know?
There's no inspiration like a breakup, man.
Yeah. So I'd be curious to see.
And the biggest thing I think is how he reacts to it, because of the most of his recent music has come from his mental state,
Right.
where he's not taking his medication. He is bipolar. He goes through all this stuff, but that's when he finds his greatest stuff.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't believe the whole gay makeup artist thing. I honestly think though that the reason that they broke up is his religion.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. Something was on. It might have been Keeping Up with the Kardashians or something, but I remember
that's enough to break anybody up.
When he first, yeah, I remember when he first, they had like a video like right after he had started like his whole religious journey and was like part of the church and only using like the choir for his music and everything. And he was trying to kind of push it on Kim a little bit. And I remember seeing her, she said something like, I respect and I am happy for you for going through this journey, but it's not my journey.
Is she atheist?
Yeah. I'm sure I think so. I don't think that, I think she's
recently single, Chris.
But,
I would.
But I think that might be it, because I just saw that one time and I was like, that seemed uncomfortable. You know, that seemed like.
That's a moral belief that if you are on opposite sides of, I don't feel like that's something you can compromise in a relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to eventually break you one way or another.
And that's one thing that like, I've always believed, like I've always said, like, I wouldn't be able to marry an atheist just because of my beliefs. Like, I don't want to believe that I might not be able to spend my afterlife with this person.
Yeah.
And I want to, then you've got to deal with, you know, how do I raise my kids? How do I spend my Sundays? How do I do this or that? And it's just like, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
You know?
See, and as an atheist myself, like the one thing is I've fallen for girls who are like, you know, very religious and stuff like that before. For me personally, I don't have a problem with it. That's your thing. And that's cool to me. Like,
right.
I respect that. the thing is, I've always found it's not the same though the other way. And I'm not doing that as like to sling mud or anything, but it's always harder from the other side of that story.
But I don't think, as someone that's not into religion myself, I don't think I could be in a relationship with someone who was hardcore into religion either.
Okay.
Because there's always you're gonna always have that awkwardness, like, if depending on what level it is, you know, because there's different tiers, I think, of being religious. You know, there's some people that are, like Jesse said, hardcore. They ain't missing church ever. They're doing Bible studies. Not drinking
any of this stuff while we're hanging out.
Right. You know, they're like, by the book. There ain't no other way around it. But even outside of that, if it's something that's that important to someone, it's really a matter of like, I know you can make compromise if you care enough or if you're in a relationship, but like, if I don't want to go to church,
well, yeah,
you know, if they want to go to church, like, I don't want to have to go just because I feel like I need to for them.
Right.
And I don't think I could do that. And I think that kind of will eventually create a divide and a tension over time, regardless of going into it. You think, well, it'll be all right. I'll go. You don't have to go with me. Right. I don't think it works.
It's definitely tough. It would just take that perfect agreement at the start to just go like, look, you have your thing and I will not be there. Like now that we understand that, yeah, let's go live in peace.
Right.
Yeah. And I think a big part of that too, is it's like, it's different when you're in that relationship too. Cause like I want what's best for you guys. You're both atheists. I don't try to push my beliefs on you guys. We've talked about it. We share about it, but I'm never going to be like, you guys are going to hell.
Right.
But like, I also know, like, based on my beliefs, I want you guys to go to heaven. Eventually, we might have that conversation. If it comes up, great.
Right.
If you make your decision, you make your decision. I'm not going to force it on you because it doesn't mean anything if I do anyways.
Right.
But that's like, I couldn't do that with my wife.
Exactly. That's
if I woke up every day with Steph, like, I don't think I could handle that. You know what I mean?
And you want to be able to talk about it and have someone that you can kind of reaffirm in it. And when they don't believe in it or aren't a part of it, it's kind of hard to that's something you want to share with that person. You know,
when we went through all the IVF stuff with the baby, that required a ton of prayer on my part. Like that was something that I grounded myself on to get through. That was just like faith, knowing that I believed that God would come through.
Right.
If I was with a wife who didn't believe those things, that would have been incredibly difficult. And I don't think that we would have been able to get through that process.
Right.
But so to ask you guys, and to be honest here, when you first dated your significant others, I'm talking dating here, like when you first started feeling the feels and you're like, you know, I think this is for real. Like, was that one of the things that was on your mind though? Like you looked for somebody who was like not deeply religious, but religious enough. And you looked for somebody who respected your beliefs too.
So funny enough, or not, I don't even want to say it's funny, but I could tell by the lifestyle that it wasn't someone that was deeply involved in religion. So there was never a conversation. I never ever had to have that conversation early on. And then eventually it came out that we both were basically on the same page. And I'm looking back at many relationships, like that was always the case. And I could kind of feel, I think you can, especially with social media nowadays, you can kind of vibe with someone and tell like, what are they into? What do they post about? What kind of pictures do they have? So I've never run into a situation where like religion ever played a part in a division, because I don't know. I was just surrounded by people that were, I don't want to say like-minded, because I do have a lot of friends. I mean, Jesse, for example, that are religious and do go to church. But as far as like dating scene and stuff like that, I never ran into that as a problem.
It's always been something that maybe not when I was dating that I always put into play, but when it ever got like serious, where I was like, this is somebody I think I could spend the rest of my life with. That was always like a very big thing. There was always like a couple of key things that I needed. One was their relationship with their family and my own, their religion, and just like overall
compatibility.
Yeah, basically. Like Steph is great about me coming onto the show. She's not nitpicky and things like that. Gets along with my friends, that type of stuff.
Right.
But those were like my 3 core things. If those things, like if we always had to have that conversation,
of course,
I wouldn't have been able to marry Steph if we hadn't had that conversation at some point. And I don't think that she's even like as religious as me, but I know that she shares the same beliefs at the core. You know what I mean? Like she's not as likely to go to church as I am, but when it comes down to it, like we both have faith that God will.
It's not a total disconnect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I also don't think, like, even on the same spectrum, I don't think there are people at my church that I know had circumstances been different, had I been in the church or something and I ended up with them, I would be miserable because they're over the top.
Oh, okay.
And like, I found that more and more the people that I hang out with are similar to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're very grounded, but they don't know if they can act that way because we all hang out in like a group of Christian friends, like the guys that I game with online for the longest time. And I won't put any names out there because I don't want to out them or whatever, but like just them like cussing on the game for the longest time wouldn't happen. And it was just like, I was like, and I'm not like that, you know, I'm me, you know, I got on the game and I'm like, fuck this fucking guy. And they're all just kind of like, oh, I don't know how to react to this yet. Like now we play and they're like, yeah, fuck him. Like, and I don't think that's a
Jess
problem.
is in a different level of Jesus clearance.
That's right. But like, I just don't like fake stuff. Like everybody I feel like has a level of normalcy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times with churches and religion and stuff, and that's a big reason why people get turned off is because it's fake.
Yep.
And like,
I think a lot of it's a front. Nobody is that perfect.
Right.
Nobody is that way 100% of the time, all the time, even behind closed doors.
Right.
It's not. And when you try and put that up, it's a turn off to people.
And I think that like, I don't think it's a big problem that I sit here and I drink 2 beers. I don't think it's a problem that we cuss every now and then. I know if I'm around my brother-in-law, his mother truly is a saint. Yeah. She really is like the perfect whatever. She prays every morning. I've never heard her curse. Josh has never heard her curse. Like she is a saint.
Yeah.
I would never have a beer in front of her.
Yeah.
I would never curse in front of her.
Yeah. Because respect.
Because I respect what she believes. And I know that those are things that would make her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But if I'm with my buddy Ryan, who's the church leading pastor,
right?
He's known me my entire life and he doesn't curse. He doesn't drink anymore.
Right.
Like that's his decision because he decided to lead the church. But he also is he's never going to be the guy that's like, dude, you shouldn't have that beer. Like if we go out for dinner, I'm going to have a beer if I want a beer and he's not going to care. And I think that that's important.
Yeah.
So I try to make that clear with people. Like you are a person and there are things that God doesn't really care about as much as you showing love and doing all those other things that a lot of people are not doing, which is a whole nother issue. But
right.
I don't know. We could have a whole conversation. We could have a whole entire episode about that.
Sure.
But I think a lot of, like you said, a lot of that just comes down to respect. If you respect the person, and if I'm not going to go into someone's place of worship or home and blatantly disrespect them and go against their beliefs just to try and prove a point. Like you don't have to believe that cussing is a sin to know that it's offensive to them and I'm in their home or whatever. And I'm going to respect that, you know, and I don't have an issue with that on a level of, because if I'm there with you and I'm in your company, it's because I respect you and you're my friend or family or whatever. And I'm going to be okay with that. But I'm also not, I mean, for that time being, I'm not going to change who I am for it, but I can show that level of mutual respect to you.
And those, the kind of atheists that you described there, those are the kind of atheists I hate. So like for me is I'm one that I can respect Jesse's beliefs and everything that he has. And I think that's great. I think that's awesome that he has that.
Yep.
You know, we're not the same person. There's different people in every life, but I don't have to shit on what he likes or what his interest is, you know, just to sell how I feel about things.
And I feel like people that take it to an extreme like that, even atheist or someone that's religion, they're trying to prove something.
Yeah.
It's not just their beliefs, because there's no reason that you need to overcompensate like that just to prove you're an atheist. You know, I don't care what Jesse believes or what you believe. That doesn't affect me personally. I will respect your beliefs because that's your decision. And I'm not going to, just like I expect people that are religious to not preach it to me if they know that that's not something I'm into. I'm not going to do the same. I'm not going to do that to them and try and shit on what they believe in either. And those people that take it to an extreme, that's just a whole nother.
And that's I think the biggest problem that I have with the church is because we don't go to church very often. And I think my one buddy does do a really good job. I just haven't been able to go back since they shut down for COVID.
Yeah.
But for the most part, in churches that I grew up in, that I've been to since, like, you're raised to think you're a Christian, you know what's right, and you're going to go to heaven. And your job, based on what the Bible says, is to make sure other people hear that message and become saved so they can go to heaven too. And that eventually evolves into almost like a necessity of your life that I have to make sure you get saved. And then that turns into, well, you two are going to hell.
Right.
And nobody's ever converted to a religion that way. And I think that we would not be close friends if I was that way.
Right.
And I was that person at one point. And it's just like, I've found over the years that if you really want to build relationships and even be able to have that conversation to get to the point where I may be able to talk to you about it, and then like you'd make your decision one way or another. Oh yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'm going to, come to church with you, or I really don't believe this, and we just let it go. You've got to be able to have a friendship like this in the first place,
and
where you
always
can
talk to me about anything.
Right. And I think and those conversations will come up, but I don't want to be the guy that's like, hey, we need to talk about your atheism because you're going to fry. Right. Like, it's just not the way that I believe in going about things. And a lot of people do. And they say like, well, I'm coming from a place of love, but you're also like forcing it down somebody's throat. And they never look at it in the opposite direction. If some dude came in, if a Muslim guy came into our church and was like, well, you guys are wrong and Allah is the way to go, and I can tell you why. Here's my Quran. Please sit down and listen to me. We'd be like, no, fuck you. You're wrong. Like,
that'd be very insulting.
Right.
So why would anybody else think differently? And people haven't gotten that through their heads yet. And people think of Christians as hateful people now. Like, it's not how it used to be, where, you go back into the 90s during like the Left Behind series hitting the big waves and Passion hitting the movie theaters and stuff. Like, people don't think of Christians that way anymore. And you got to make your changes if you're going to really be able to share that, because it's all about love. And people forget that because they're so freaking hateful about anything different that they want to demonize it and bash them before welcoming them in. Like, churches should be full of gay people. Right. Churches should be full of trans people and different races and all this other stuff. And they're not. It's a bunch of old white people who are hateful as shit. And you're not going to get anything done that way.
That was always one of my biggest issues with it. Is it was so hypocritical. These people that were preaching religion and love thy neighbor and love thy brother and sister and treat everyone with respect and whatever, everyone's children of God, but they would be the first people to judge or cast you out. And I'm like, that's not what, in the time that I was ever involved in, I'm like, that's not what it's about. I've always respected religion as a sense of community, of bringing people together and doing good, and like that's what I think of. But when you have those people that try and cast people out because of their differences and things, that's where the Christianity, like where I look at Christianity now, and people that are real religious, it feels like they are always they're in the right. You're the devil. You're oh my God, you're tattooed, and like you're going to fucking hell.
That's a cult to me.
And that's my thing, And I always thought of religion as like when I go back and I think about what is religion, and I think about the Bible and its teachings and everything, it's like, to me, it was like a government. It was a way to hold people accountable for what was right and wrong. And you could kind of get people before, like, government was a real like government. That's how I've always kind of pictured it. And then it's evolved over the years into being different things. But if you can get to that place of just loving and caring, like Jesse said, and bringing people together regardless of gender and race and things like that, I have no issue with that. I used to go to a church. It was called 707. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It was up towards Cleveland, and it was fun to go. It wasn't, they talked about the Bible and they talked about religion, but these were dudes playing guitars, like rock music, and like having a good time and bringing people together in a way that made you want to learn about it. And, even if it wasn't something you were going to do every week, you were willing to come because they made it about community, and you weren't judged if you didn't come every week, and I would go just for fun because I had friends that went there, and I would listen about what they had to talk about, and then I'd go about my way. And like, that was a good way to bring new people in, and that was like the best time where I ever was involved with religion at all, was going there. And they just did it a good way.
Last segment I wanted to end with Hollywood Report. Is American Idol is going into season 19. This has blown my mind that this show has been on this long. Let's go back, talk about some of, is there a winner? I know it sounds like you're not a fan. I watched for I think it was like the first 6 or 7 years. I haven't followed every season. Some of my favorite winners, like I loved Carrie Underwood winning. I thought she was probably the most talent that's come with it, and that's why she's been the biggest star since.
Right.
I remember I thought Daughtry should have won his season, not the Taylor dude or whatever. I also like Catherine McPhee that year for more reasons than one. But what did you think, Ryan?
I've never been huge into American Idol. I watched maybe the first 1 or 2 seasons.
I know why you watch now.
And now the only reason I watch is because of Katy Perry. Honestly, when Katy Perry became a judge on that show, I've watched every season.
Wow,
she's
imagine
been on
that.
it. But it's been a good journey because her bringing me back to watching it solely because she's on it. I've really found a lot of amazing artists on there that I continue to follow today. You know, that won or lost, that didn't matter. Like there was people on there that I was like, man, they're extremely talented.
Yeah.
But she drew me in. I mean, she's nice to look at and she's fun. And I like Lionel and Luke. I mean, I don't really care one way or another. Is that his name? Not Luke.
I don't know who.
I don't know the country guy. I can't remember his name now.
Oh.
Luke Bryan's on The Voice.
Oh.
No, wait. Who's married to Gwen Stefani?
No, that's Blake.
Okay, so then it is Luke Bryan on American Idol, and then it's Blake Shelton on The Voice.
Yeah.
So it's Luke, Lionel, and then Katy Perry. But yeah, it's cool. I don't watch it on TV ever. I'll just turn on the YouTube and I'll binge through it. And then you just get the like quick blip of it. You don't have to watch all the other extra stuff. I can watch the person sing, like, cool, they're good. Move on to the next person or whatever. But
for what you said about American Idol and finding new artists and all that, not necessarily ones that won, that was for me with The Voice for the longest time. I enjoyed The Voice, but then I kind of realized after a while, I'm like, there's really no difference between this or an Idol or anything. They're all a popularity contest. Because to me, first of all, how you view an artist is subjective. That's obvious. Okay. So like you could look at someone and say that boy's got talent, but I don't think that girl has talent at all.
Yeah.
And that girl will win. That's kind of thing that bothers me, but it's not something that I can ever fix within myself. So if I see somebody who I don't think deserves to win the show, it's going to anger me and I'm going to get pissed off and I'm going to say the real person didn't get recognized. So that's kind of my problem with these shows.
Yeah. One of the things that I find interesting that we talked about it just with Kanye is life experiences generally drive people into music or whatever.
Yeah.
But all of these shows, every person's got a story. Every person's got some kind of sob story.
Yeah.
Just lost my parent, or I'm
You're
going
right.
through a breakup, or my wife's got this going on. Like there's always something to these people that kind of like are there to like pull at your heartstrings and want them to like do well. And I don't know if it's casted that way intentionally or if it just happens to be that they're going through something in their life and that's why they wanted to do it. Wow. But they always all have that story, man.
We found 800 people of the same, the same variety.
Wild. And it's like sometimes I see those, like there's people that I see get through and I'm like, did they deserve to get through or did we feel bad for them?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, it is a popularity contest.
Or they put them on there just so that they can, because there's like 3 rounds before you even see the show.
Right.
So, because I knew somebody who made it to the round.
Me too.
The show round. She made it through the first 2 rounds and then made it onto the show. She didn't get on the show, but you know, she went in front of the judges and never made it past there. But like thousands of people just to get to that point. And it probably was the same thing. I don't have a story, you know. She came from a pretty well-off family and
you don't need this.
Played piano in the church. Like they said, fuck her.
Yep. It's true. What were was there a music show that was one of your favorites? So like there was American Idol, there's The Voice.
The Voice was it for me.
Yeah, I like The Voice too.
Yeah, like so the first, oh God, I'm gonna try to remember all these names, but oh fuck. So I know Cassidy Pope, obviously, like the 3rd winner or whatever. She was actually a gospel singer, and then she turned into a rock singer. It was cool to see her win. There's a few women that I follow on there. Like I was a big Melanie Martinez fan until that whole scandal broke with her, and I was like, wow, she's really fucked up. But there's I was following that for the longest time. I liked the original lineup of judges though. I liked when Adam and Blake were kind of going back and forth and fighting each other.
I could do without Cecil. What was his name? Cecil Green.
Oh, CeeLo Green.
CeeLo Green. I could
yeah,
do without him.
yeah.
Fuck you,
baby. Your body looks good tonight.
I wasn't a huge fan of his, but I did like Blake and Adam and.
God, you need to stop trying to fuck the.
Did you watch it when it was Dia Frampton?
Yes, that's who I was trying to think of.
I saw her live at Musica. She won. She was good, man.
Oh my God, what a voice!
Yeah, her and then Javier Colon.
Javier Colon.
I also saw live.
He won, right?
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him at EJ Thomas. I think I told the story on here before, but I saw him at EJ Thomas when he was doing his winning tour or whatever. And I've never been in a more quiet place where literally all you heard was people crying. This dude's voice was so powerful. It was silent.
He was good.
But it was just literally every single person in that EJ Thomas Hall was just sobbing.
Ryan just heard himself. He was just so loud. He just thought it was everybody else.
Dude, he was incredible.
We're crying together.
I think I have it on video somewhere. I'll have to see if I can pull it up. But dude was wild. Did you ever watch any of them?
I'm not a big music guy. I grew up watching like all the game show stuff. Like I grew up watching like Big Brother, Survivor, Fear Factor. We did American Idol, but the last person that I remember, I pulled up the winners just to like see, was Jordan Sparks. And I don't even know if I watched that season. So that season,
Clay Aiken, wasn't Clay Aiken one too?
Clay Aiken was season
he was
two.
the runner up to Ruben Studdard.
Yeah, he lost. He had a better career because he should have won, but I was mad about that.
He probably should have won.
I had the same spiky hairdo then. I was like fucking 6.
Fucking awful.
Kelly beat Justin.
Bubbles invisible.
Dude, I want to see.
It's a creepy song.
Find that video.
I could just watch you in your room.
But that's all we've got for Hollywood.
Jesse, you gonna go on The Voice?
No, God, no.
I was like, I knew somebody though who went to American Idol and got to, I think it was the round of 32.
Oh, wow.
And got really far. It was a local friend around here. She grew up in Canton. I think she lives in Arizona now. She was fucking good. And I was so pissed she didn't make it further.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm going to regret playing this because it's probably not going to do it justice. And then you're all like, this fucking dude. Yeah. But this was one of the songs I recorded.
1, 2, 3, this fucking dude.
Yeah. You assholes. This isn't the song.
That cued Ryan right there. They are streaming.
I'm not gonna lie, I got chills when I turned it on.
That's a good song though.
His voice is just like he does Facebook Lives a lot where he'll just literally just sing on camera. And like, I don't know, there's something about that dude. And he was actually popular before and like failed, just like Katy Perry.
That's my favorite Coldplay song.
So good. He had a career, I think it was like in hip hop or something, and it didn't go anywhere. And then he started doing whatever he does now. But anyway. So yeah,
that's it.
American Idol. Check out that fantastic show. And my wife, Katy Perry, is a judge on there.
This fucking
She just had my child. I think that's it. We got, do we have a mind fuck?
No, I don't.
That's okay.
I can look real quick, but
Jesse's got to take off anyways. I'm going to just blurp out a couple things for Let's Get Social.
Yeah, I got 10 minutes.
Couple things happened over the past week. So Texas got fucking shat all over, ice storm and snow and all kinds of chaos there. I mean, Joe Biden just initiated like a I don't know, disaster relief.
He sent FEMA immediately, and then he just now signed over.
Like something extra. Yeah. It wasn't like late to the game, but I mean, he signed something additional for like funding or something.
For all you Trumpers saying they didn't do shit.
Yeah. So he's
not shooting paper towels at them, you dicks.
I've seen your comments.
He's working to get them some relief, but I mean, it was chaos for them to the point of, without power, without water, without heat.
Icicles coming through the ceiling.
People literally just freezing to death. And part of it, I guess, is their power grid. I never knew. Did you guys know about their power grid? I did not
know about that
prior to this.
Mm-mm.
So Texas wants to be hands-off government and privatized all their power.
Yeah.
And then basically what happened was it got super fucking cold. Everybody turned their heat up at once, and the power grid couldn't hold the surge, and no power for anybody.
Yeah, it is wild. And then everyone's bashing clean energy. Everyone's bashing the windmills because they got fucking windmills to provide them all their power, and they obviously don't work or weren't working. And then we're trying to save these windmills by using fucking helicopters blasting off fossil fuels to clean them, and using toxic fossil fuel de-icer to save these things.
Texas loves that shit. Get the flamethrowers. We're gonna melt the icicles off.
They're getting shit all over. But it makes you think about that kind of stuff, and it actually turned into another conversation that I was having with some friends the other day about our clean energy and how it works.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm all for it. And I think we need to invest more money and research into clean energy and like electric cars and stuff. But when you really think about it, it's like, it's kind of counterproductive. I mean, we're using an electric vehicle that's using these batteries that we're pulling from fossil fuels within the earth to create, and then you can't recycle them and they're toxic. You're charging your car with electricity that's using fossil fuels and using coal energy and shit.
Get them, Chris.
Like, no, look, I'm for it. But these are the things that were being told to me. And I'm like, but the greater well, you can debate it so it's coming from someone else.
No, I'm just saying, like, to be fair, and I'm the last guy that sticks up for this guy, but Biden did campaign on this, and everybody flipped their lid once he said we're going to start getting rid of coal and all that. We're going to be out of work and we're going to be all this shit and blah, blah, blah.
But I'm for it. Like,
yeah, I am too. I'm 100% for it.
It just contradict it when you break it down. It can be contradictory. I mean, and I get where people will come from with that, and it's where do we find that resolution?
Oil is a finite resource. It does not reproduce at a time frame that is quick enough for us to be able to use it forever. They've been saying for 10 or 15 years that if we continued on this trend, that in 60 years it'd be done. We're probably down to like 50 or 40 or who knows what we're at now. But like,
well, also what a lot of people don't realize is that the United States has a huge cache of oil.
Yeah.
We're
just going to use everybody else's.
Exactly. We are using everyone else's so that we hold the supply here and then we have the demand, whereas everyone else has had.
But there's not going to be any demand because they're going to get ahead of the game like they always do. And they'll be in their electric cars. And yes, the lithium batteries that they put into these things can't be recycled and they're not good for the earth. But you're going to use, I mean, how long does a fucking Toyota last on the fucking road? 25 years.
Yeah.
So you got 25 years of gas versus 25 years of this one battery that's not going to put any pollution out, and then it's going to get put into some type of mill.
I think the issue is longevity of them. I don't think they last very long. It's like 4 or 5 years, and then they need replaced, and they're really expensive, and you can't do anything with them.
You don't think that freaking
Elon needs to come up with a better one?
Elon's going to come up with a better one?
For sure.
As soon as they go to that, Elon's going to be like, well, let me just roll this out. And it's going to be a 20-year thing.
That's my thing, though. We need to invest in it. We're not, because people want to find these contradictory reasons why we shouldn't. And I'm like, if we spent the time and money on it to actually research other options, then we would find something that's reliable and that isn't going to cause as much harm. We're fucking smart. There's a lot of fucking smart people.
Because projects are always based on people, and if it gets a bad word of mouth from people for whatever it is, bullshit reasons, whatever, they're never going to feel the inspiration to invest into it. Or if it dips in the
big people's pockets. That's the big problem.
The problem is that everybody wants a top-of-the-line vehicle still with those lithium batteries. I don't remember what year it was, but I know it was way long ago. I'm talking like 90s, 80s, something before the millennium.
Right.
Where some fucking MIT kid or some shit, I don't remember. I saw the video. I'll find it for next week or something. But this guy made a car that ran entirely on water, and that fucking thing went from the West Coast to the East Coast. Made it the whole entire way on nothing but water. So don't fucking tell me that we can't make something that works when some guy with a box of scraps put this shit together and went across the entire country.
Is this the documentary of the guy that like ended up dead or something, or like his car got stolen? I remember watching. No, I'm for real. There's this kid that made a vehicle like
the oil moguls came in and they murdered him.
For real. The dude ended up missing or something.
Trumpers, listen. Big oil.
Chris is laughing, but I'm for real.
And they fucking killed this guy.
No, I'm for real.
I'll pass on the car.
But that's the same shit. That's the same shit that they did to Tesla. As soon as Tesla died, they went in and they raided his shit and took all of them inventions. That guy was building wireless energy, and it worked. You could have had a fucking thing in your side yard that soaked up all the energy and ran your house on its own little unit. But they said, well, how the hell are we going to charge people for that? So
how do we get the piece of the cookie?
Put it into the lines. And they went with fucking Edison, who's a goddamn fuck. And now we're still hitting here with wires. We're just now getting wireless charging for the first time when we could have had that shit. When did Tesla and Edison exist? Like the fucking 1800, 200 years later, I'm dealing with wires.
1850s, something like that.
And think about that. You can set this on something and it fucking
charges. And Tesla was doing that shit before we had vehicles.
That's just crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Technology blows my mind. We just fucking put a fucking ship on Mars.
Like the Prestige again.
Jeez,
that's the second one.
know, but what the fuck? 360 million miles?
And it landed with no issues.
Well, it's because it's in some desolate island in like the south somewhere.
That's what makes it harder though to believe
Mars.
these certain things. To Jesse's credit, and we go like, well, yeah, but we can't come up with a car that runs on water or fucking farts or anything like that.
Fart sounds good.
Yeah,
Jesse could fuel the fucking world. Oh boy, yeah, we'll extend this conversation to next week because there's a lot I'd like to talk about, technology based and just fucking all that kind of stuff. So, but I think that's it for this week. We'll do we got to do a money mindfuck when Jesse's actually here. So I say we do it next week and we come up with a good one.
Wait, we don't have one now?
Well, you got to leave, don't you?
They take 5 minutes to answer.
Bro, our money mindfucks go like 20 minutes long.
We'll be all right. Let's go.
I don't have one. Like you told me not to look it up.
Yeah, we'll do one next week.
I thought we were missing something though, but
how much money to fuck Chris?
Oh my gosh. Wait, what are we missing? What did I miss?
Chris is like, I've got the money. I've got the check.
Oh yeah, shoot.
Well, that's
Did I ever hit the Let's Get Social soundbite?
No.
I fucked the whole thing up.
It is July 20th, 1969, and man is about to land on the moon.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's the way the news goes.
Fucking amateur hour over here.
I forgot about the soundbite. I thought we were running out of time. You always leave in the middle of the show, so I was trying to finish with you actually here. So I already talked about Let's Get Social before I hit the button. We're supposed to talk about United Airlines crashing and COVID cases, and more importantly, we're going to discuss Black-owned businesses locally. I didn't get any nationally. Chris might have, but I did pull a bunch for Akron area.
Yeah, just local for me.
I don't know the best way to really go off, like just list them. I mean, I put them in description and things like that. But I'll go through a couple that I've visited and that I've looked up, or some are friends and people that I know. One Jesse's talked about on the show before, and it's Marcus's.
So
how do you say it? Marcus. Marcus.
It's just his name.
It's downtown Akron in the East End, and it's a Southern Cajun Creole.
You guys tried it yet?
Cuisine. I have not been there.
I've always wanted to.
So good.
There's Social 8, which is another restaurant and lounge. Have you guys ever had the Pierogi Lady?
No. Pierogi Lady?
Pierogi Lady is amazing. It's 50%. It's a partnership. It's 50% Black owned, and then the Pierogi Lady. I don't know which one of them is, but
it's amazing. In the paper, like in the Beacon Journal, there was a story on that place.
Bro, slaps. If you like pierogies. Physio Balance and Sports Performance. So this is really cool. This is a friend of mine's brother. And he is a physical therapist. He actually was the manager or the head guy for the Akron Marathon. He's won it a couple times. Dude's younger than us. Like, he's kills it. He's extremely athletic, but he's got his own physical therapy place open, which is really cool. Welcome to the Pit, which is a Black-owned training facility. Levels Barber Studio. So if you need a new barber, they're located downtown Akron. It's not Fells, actually.
Okay.
Where I go.
That was my next question. Where was that?
Yep. Speedy Eye Repair. You know, these iPhone things are always breaking and crap. So
oh yeah, that would be a good one.
Androids don't.
Well, they do smartphones and iPhones, so you can bring your janky old whatever over there. Alien Arts Inc. This is education in hip hop, performing arts, and social change. I never heard of that one before. Stacy Jordan Shelton. I'm actually friends with her online. I don't really know how, honestly, friends of friends. But I know that she does stuff within the community, and she's a performance consultant. How do you say that word? Strategist,
yeah.
And coach. Akron Candle. I've seen their stuff before. They had a place at North Side Loft or whatever, Marketplace. 7th Floor Clothing. They are located downtown Akron, I believe. Not Just October is really cool. This is another kid I went to school with. His mom passed away of breast cancer. He started a nonprofit called Not Just October to talk about breast cancer all year long, not just October. Cool. And he actually just signed the lease on an actual physical location where they're going to have like a food pantry, and there's going to be medical services there, and people like therapists and stuff on staff. He's a bus driver for Akron Metro RTA. You might have seen his vehicle around or advertised. It's a little Toyota like Yaris, and it's wrapped in all pink and stuff like that. Really cool. And then Better Together. I've talked about them on here before. I wear the hat sometimes. They do some really cool stuff within the community, art and apparel, and then community organizations and things.
Were they in a tournament?
Were they in a tournament?
Our tournament.
I don't think so.
Sounds familiar.
I did a video specifically just about them once earlier last year.
Okay.
And it was like a standalone video on here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Talking about my buddy that runs that. So
those are pretty sweet.
There's a lot just with
the bee's knees.
This fucking guy. No. But yeah, with it being Black History Month, we wanted to talk about a little bit every show, and this is the last one we will record during this year. for Black History Month. And we've talked about some of these businesses before, but I think just getting out and supporting these folks all year, but just making sure we're drawing attention to them now. Did you have a couple, Chris?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the one. So I know one right off the top of my head. There's actually two. I can't remember the other. I'm going to look for it now. But the first one is Edgar's.
Yes.
It's a local owned restaurant here. Awesome burgers, man. I totally recommend them. I go to them at least probably once a month, and highly recommended.
Yep.
The second one I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, I got it right here. My buddy Mike Black suggested Big U's, is I think how you pronounce it. Big U's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Big U's Barbecue on Portage Trail in Cuyahoga Falls.
Okay.
I've been meaning to go there. I heard it's amazing.
Really?
I like a good barbecue
Me
place, man. That's my jam. So
an honorable mention to my other buddy, Rashawn. So his brother is the guy that does Physio Balance. He lives in Virginia now, and he owns and operates Next Chapter Services, which is elder care and aftercare for senior citizens and things. And he worked for one for a long time. He opened up his own recently. He's doing really good things down there. So all these were from Akron. He's originally from Akron. We went to school at Copley together. Vershawn Taylor, he's doing some really, really cool stuff. So check that out. I made a video on here earlier last summer, and it was me acting like a freaking cornball in my backyard, dancing around to some, I think it was the Taylor Swift song. And I posted that. It was a video for him where he was trying to get people together to vibe out, just spreading positivity and things.
That's right. Yeah.
That was something that he had organized. So he does a lot of really cool stuff like that. He used to have a podcast type show like this when he lived in the area. We did some stuff together. So check out these businesses.
Support them.
Jesse, you have any to add other than Marcus? I know that's your
That's
spot.
my main one. I'm really bad about local business to begin with.
Yeah.
So
it's hard.
But yeah, Marcus is easily my favorite Cajun restaurant in the area, which
check it out.
We don't get a lot of. So
those are some places to look. We'll share them. We'll share the links and everything on the podcast page, so you can click links and locate them and show them support and stuff. So
cool.
Anything else, guys?
I do have a riddle real quick.
Ooh, riddle. Okay.
Riddle me this.
It's not a money mind fuck.
Riddle me this, Batman.
We're going to call this Would You this week. Would you rather be in jail for a year or lose a year off your life?
It's the same thing.
I'd rather lose a year off my life.
I would as well.
Okay.
Christopher? I'd rather enjoy my age now than when I'm 90.
I guess it just depends how long you're so.
Do I get to choose when I go to jail?
Yeah.
Oh, that changes things.
Yeah, the last year of my life, I'd like to end in jail.
Of course.
Be old as shit. Yeah, go ahead.
Someone can change
meals.
my diaper and feed me and give me a place to live.
We'll be back to tougher questions next week.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's all for this week.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. That is Made to Motivate Podcast. Make sure you tune into the show every week. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube so you know when the new videos launch. And check out our pages individually if you can. We appreciate the support. At Jesse Unk SI on Twitter. Chris, the Film Freak Kessinger. Check out the Film Freak Review page on Facebook. And I am Ryan Weiss. You can check out rockeverywhereinc.etsy.com to follow my art and apparel page. We appreciate the support. And of course, at Made to Motivate Podcast on all social media sites. Thanks again, and we'll check you next week.